0 and if the present state is 1. We are considering two cases. Okay, either Qn it can be 0 or Qn it can be 1, right? In that case, what will be the output that I'll be getting through this? In that case, if the clock is 1, if both are 0, I'm always getting the memory state. Okay, see over here. If I'm considering Qn is 0, okay, and Qn bar is 1. If I will put this 0, I will get it this as a 1. Okay, and again, if I will provide this, again I will get this as a 0, again I will get this as a 1. Okay, so in that case, we are getting this memory state. Okay, so for this, if Qn is 0 and Qn is 1, in that case, Qn plus 1, it will be again I am getting 0 and 1 in the SR flip-flop. See, in the previous table, I have not considered, I have just represented only the current state, present state. Okay. Here, I am considering the present state and the next state. If the present state is 0 and if S and R 0, I am getting the next state is 0. If S and R is 0, if the present state is 1, in that case, next state is 1. Okay. With this same 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0. With 0, 1, again, if I am having the present state is 0, the output for set, you will always be getting. See, here you can see reset is 1, right? Here reset is 1. So for 0, 1, you are getting, your circuit will get reset, means your output is 0. So here output will be 0 for this, and when for 0, 1, if the present state is 1, still you will get the output is 0. Okay, so this is known as reset state. Okay, now for these two conditions, 1, 0, 1, 0, if the present state is 0 and if the present state is 1, because of this S is 1, this is the set state, I will always get the next state output as a 1 and 1 for both. Though the present state is 0, the next state will be 1. Though the present state is 1, the next state will be 1. Okay, so if the set S is 1, then always we'll get the next state output as a set state. Okay, and for these two conditions, 1 and 1, if this is 1, 1, if we'll assume present state is 0 or present state is 1, in that both the cases we'll get, for 1, 1, we get the invalid. Okay, so for both, we'll get here the invalid output for the next state. Okay, invalid means what? We are not getting the complementary output. Okay, so here you can see this truth table. Okay, this is the detailed truth table where the present states are also considered. So the same output you will get. And this is nothing but just the reduced form of this truth table. Here you can see for 0, 0, we are this 0, 0. What we are getting? Memory. For 0, 1, always the circuit will get reset. For 1, 0, always the circuit will be in the state. Okay, and for 1, 1, always the circuit will be work as a invalid state. Okay, so the same cases here you can see, this is just a reduced form, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. 0 means what? Reset. 1 means what? Set. So whenever the reset is 1, the output will be 0. Whenever the set will be 1, that time the output will be 1. Okay, so this is very important part. Okay, so this is the same truth table. Here it is given. You can see these inputs are provided, present state and next state. Okay, and this particular truth table, it is right in this particular form, in the reduced form. So here you can see S, R, Qn, whatever it is the Qn, either it can be 0 or 1. So that's what this don't mark it is given. Okay, and Qn plus 1, here always you are getting as a Qn. Okay. Why Qn? Because this is a memory. For memory, it is written as a Qn, because if the next state is Qn plus 1, what is the previous state? That is Qn. Okay. So here, this is the reduced form of this truth table, SR flip-flop. Okay, now just tell me, have you understood this particular part? Have you understood this, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so see now, the next part, just I will go through the difference and then we'll start again. There is one drawback with SR, so we'll start with JK. Okay, now see over here. We'll go through first latches versus flip-flop. See, in the latch and flip-flop, with using latch also we can store the information, right? With using flip-flop also we can store the information. With latch also we can provide the input. With flip-flop also we can provide the input. Only the difference is that in the flip-flop we are providing the clock, and in the latch we are not providing the clock. Okay, so in the flip-flop it checks the input. Okay, but it changes the output only at time specified by the clock. Okay, based on the clock cycle, whether it is 0 or 1, okay, then only it provides the certain output. Versus in the latch, whatever the input will give, based on that it will respond to that. Okay, so there are two methods for that. Those are known as triggering method. Those are used in a latch and flip-flop. Okay, see, depending on which the portion of the clock signal the latch or flip-flop respond to, classify them into two types, level triggering and edge triggering. Level triggering means what? The circuit responds to change in their input if their enable input E held at an active level, which may be steady, high or low. See, there is a concept of level triggering and there is a concept of edge triggering. Level triggering means what? Here you know this square wave, right? This is here it is given. Now in this particular part here you can see this arrow mark here it is given. Here SR flip-flop is enabled only when the level is high. See, in the latch we generally use the level triggering, and in the flip-flop we generally use the edge triggering. Level triggering means what? There are two levels. Either if it will be 1, it will be considered as a high. If it will be 0, it will be considered as a low. Okay, so if it will be low, this circuit will does not respond, and if it will be high, then only the circuit will respond. Likewise, okay, then only the flip-flop will respond. When the clock will be 1, then only the flip-flop will respond, right? So SR flip-flop is enabled only when the level is high. Here you can see this is means 1, means if it is high. This is means what? This is means low. Okay, so this is the level triggering. Now, there are two types of level triggering, positive level triggering and negative level triggering. This is nothing but if it is at the high, means this is the positive level triggering. Okay, but with this also we can apply both, like output of the flip-flop respond to the input changes only when its clock input are high, that is one level. Okay, and negative level triggering means what? Output of the flip-flop responds to the input changes only when its clock input are low level. Okay, so here you can see the level triggered flip-flop output changes when the clock input is either at high or low. Okay, so that time the level triggered flip-flop will be worked. Okay, but when for the edge triggered flip-flop, now here you can see this is nothing but the arrow you can see over here, right? What this arrow indicates that it is going from downwards to upward and from upward to downward. Okay, so this is nothing but the edge, right? And here the flow you can see means the control that is coming from downward, it is going from downward to upward. Okay, so in that case it is known as edge triggering. Okay, so the edge triggering flip-flop samples the input at the positive or negative edge. Now this is the leading edge. Okay, from downward to upward if it is going, then it is known as a positive edge, and from upward to downward, it is known as negative edge triggering. So based on that, the output changes. So the edge triggered flip-flop samples the input at the positive or negative edge and changes its output correspondingly. This is actually basically the concept that is used inside the flip-flop and inside the latch. Okay. So edge triggering, the flip-flop which changes their output only corresponding to the positive or negative. Positive means rising, negative means falling. Okay, or you can say leading and falling. Okay, so types of edge triggering, that is positive edge triggering and negative edge triggering. The flip-flop which allows its output to change in response to its input only at the instance corresponding to the rising edge of the clock positive spikes, its output will not respond to the change in the input at any other instance of time. And in the negative edge triggering, the flip-flop which responds only at the falling edge of the clock, negative spikes of the clock. Okay. So you will understand it this in a better way. Actually, how this edge triggering it is used. Okay, so this will be required later in the part of counters also. Okay, but you should know it. What is level triggering and what is edge triggering? Generally, the level triggering it is used in latches, and generally the edge triggering concept it is used in flip flop. Okay, now we'll move towards the JK flip flop. See, just now we have seen the SR flip-flop. Okay. See, in the SR flip-flop, what we have seen? In the SR flip-flop, we have seen this particular condition, that is 1, 1. When? For this condition, when S is 1 and R is 1, that time we are getting this indeterminate condition, mean invalid condition, right? Okay. So, to overcome this particular condition, right, this should work properly. For that, the JK flip-flop is used. If both the inputs are 1, then we are getting the indeterminate output, means invalid output. So we should get some valid output. So for that, the JK flip-flop is used. This drawback, it can be overcome by JK flip-flop. So the JK flip-flop is refined and improved version of SR flip-flop that has been introduced to solve the problem of indeterminate state that occurs in SR flip-flop when both the inputs are 1. Okay. So only for that purpose the JK flip-flop is used. So in JK flip-flop, input J behaves like input S of SR flip-flop. See over here, input J means nothing but input S which was meant to set the flip-flop. Okay, and input K, it's nothing but like a input R of SR flip-flop which was meant to reset the flip-flop. Okay. So with this, you can see this particular diagram. Okay, so what you can see in this particular diagram, see the difference between SR and JK. What is the difference that you can observe here? Okay, just let me give you an idea over here only. I'm drawing an SR flip-flop only, and how we'll convert into JK flip-flop, that we'll see. Let's consider this is SR. Okay, this is the clock signal. Q and Q n bar. Okay, so now with SR, with JK, what we have to do? We have to connect this Q n bar to the input of S NAND gate, you can say, where we have connected the set input to that NAND gate, we have to connect the Q n bar. Okay, and this will be connected this NAND gate. Okay, so we have modified the SR flip-flop circuit. We require here one more input to the first NAND gate. Okay, and that input is coming from the QN bar. Okay, this is nothing but the output that it is connected as the input to this first NAND gate. Okay, and this QN output is connecting to the input of this another NAND gate that is using for reset. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now instead of S, I will give the name as a J. Instead of R, we'll give the name as a K. Okay, so J and K. Now here you can see two inputs are there, right? So with this, over here, I will write again the same truth table for SR. Just now we have seen SR 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay, so this is the memory state. Okay, just let me give you an idea about the another truth table only, because we'll be required this truth table for this. Okay, okay, see over here for this first input. Okay, I will write both. Qn and Qn plus 1. Okay, so this is the memory state. Means here it is 0, 1, so we are getting memory. If it is 0, 1, okay, we are getting, as this is a set is 0, so as a 0, 1, 0. For this we are 0, 1, we are getting as a 1, 1, and for 1, 1, we are getting this as a invalid. Right, so this is a memory state, this is a reset state, this is the set state, and this is the invalid state. Okay, now see, we are only working with this condition for JK flip-flop. Okay, see, when the clock is 0, okay, and if we'll apply again J is 0 and K is 0, or if the clock is 0, whatever the output that we are getting in the SR flip-flop, when S and R both are 0, the same output will be getting. Okay, so when the clock is 0, irrespective of the value of J and K, we'll get the memory state. Okay, if the clock is 1, in that case, again you need to go through all these steps: 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. But for 0, 1 and 1, 0, there is no change. Whatever the SR output that you are getting, the same output you will get for the JK. Okay, the same output you will get it for this JK. So this part is same for the JK flip-flop for all these conditions. Means this is one condition, this is second condition, this is third condition. Okay, now we need to just check it for this condition, because this is invalid and this can be overcome by JK flip-flop. So see over here, if the clock is 1, okay, and if J and K both are 1, okay, in that case, what will happen? If J and K are 1 and this is also 1, okay, and let's assume that now, in that case, if Qn is 0, present state is 0 first. Okay, so I will write over here, if 1, 1, that is, suppose J is 1 and K is 1, and if the present state is, let's consider 0. Okay, if the present state is 0. Okay, why I am considering over here present state? Because I cannot find out the output of the inverter. If it is 0, I can directly find out, right? But because of all are ones, two inputs we know that, but third input we don't know. That is coming from Qn bar. So that's what I'm assuming, if the present state is 0, in that case, what will be the Qn bar? That will be 1. Okay, so if now this is connecting to this, means what is Qn? That is coming over here. So J is 1, clock is 1, and this is also 1. Right? And this Qn, it is this output that we are passing to this. So this 0. Right? So if the K out, this clock is 1, this K is 1, and this is 0. Right? This is coming from over here. So if all are 1, the output will be 0. Right? And here, if one input is 0, the output will be 1. Right? Now, in that case, we are getting the output of first inverter as a 0 and the output of second inverter as a 1. Okay. Now, in this case, what will happen if this is 0? Okay. So, because of this is 0, hello? Is there any doubt? My screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So as this is a 0, if any one of the input, it is 0, okay, what is the output? That will be 1, right? So can you see that previously I have taken Qn as a 0, but I am getting then for the next state, it is 1. I know this one, right? This is 1, but 0, 1, the output is 0. So for the next state, I am getting it 1. Okay, now for this state, this 1 is passing over here. Okay, now in this case, we'll get the output as a 0. And if we'll again pass over this output, I will get next time as a 0. And if I will again going through this circuit, I will again get for the next case as a 1. Okay, you have to just go through this feedback mechanism carefully. Okay, apply the inputs properly and just check it. What the output you are getting it, if at the initial state Qn is 0 and Qn is 1. Okay, if Qn is 0, what is the next state output that you are getting, that you have to observe. So that I am getting 1 over here, and for if I will apply the Qn is 1, okay, that time you will get the Qn plus 1, that is 0. Okay, similarly for the next state, suppose I want to find out the next state Qn plus 2, and in that case if I will give this as a 1 and this as a 0. Okay. So if this will be a 1 and this will be 0, in that case what will happen? This 1, okay, over here it will be 1 and this is 0. So this will be 0. Okay, so in that case what you will get? 1. In that case what you will get? 0. Okay. Now again you just go through this circuit. Okay, and check what is the output that you will get. This is 1 and this is 0. Any one of the input is 0. What will be the output? Though it is 1, 0, what will be the output? I will get 1. Okay, and that time I will get the output as a 0 over here. So whenever the present state is 1 and 0, next state I will get as a 0 and 1. Okay, similarly, if I will again consider 0 and 1, the next state I will get as a 1 and 0. Okay, so here you can see this is the toggle case. Okay, where the output is inverting, means 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. If it is 0, it is coming 1. If the previous input is 0, the next state will be 1. And if the previous is 1, the next will be 0. So likewise, you will get the output for this condition, okay, in the JK flip-flop. Okay, so instead of this, what I can write over here, whatever the present state it is there for 1 1, either if it is 0 and if it is 1, okay, I will get next as a 1 0, but I need to assume it for all the next states. Okay, so in that case, what I can write, Qn complement. Okay, why Qn complement? Because whatever the previous, if it is 0, I'm getting 1. If it is 1, I'm getting 0. So this is nothing but the complement of the, here you can see Qn plus 1 means Qn bar. Right? Because if it is 0, I'm getting 1. So that's what here, this condition, it can be written as a Qn bar. Okay. So this is only the change in the JK flip-flop that you can see. See over here. For 1 and 1, if the present state is 0 and 1, the next state that you will get as a 1 and 0. Okay. So here you can see this is the toggle state condition that occurs in the JK flip-flop. Okay. So to overcome that drawback of invalid state, we are using this JK flip-flop. Okay. Rest of the conditions, this complete truth table is same as a SR flip-flop. Okay. So you have to just go through this, all this circuit diagram, truth table. Okay. Then points to remember, both JK flip-flop and SR flip-flop are functionally same. The only difference between them is in JK flip-flop, indeterminate state does not occur. In JK flip-flop, instead of indeterminate state, the present state toggles. And in other words, the present state gets inverted when both the inputs are 1. Okay, so this is the JK flip-flop. Is there any doubt in this part? Students, do you have any doubt? JK flip-flop we have completed. SR flip-flop we have completed. Okay. You understood? Okay. What's the time of the next lecture? Can you tell me? 11:25. Okay, so next 5 minutes I will cover one more point. Okay, that is nothing but just the last two small flip-flops. Okay, so only here only I will just write it shortly. What is mean by D flip-flop and T flip-flop? Now after SR flip-flop and JK flip-flop, there is a topic of D flip-flop and T flip-flop. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, so in this particular flip-flop, D flip-flop, it is always use the SR flip-flop. Okay, so you know that in the SR flip-flop, okay, again I will write over here the truth table. Why I am writing over here this again? Because again this is required for this D flip-flop. See, over here in the previous part, what we have seen, memory state. Okay, so memory state means what? Whatever the present input it is there, I am getting the for the next state the same output, right? Whatever the past output it is there, the next state output it will be same. So that's what that is known as a memory state, right? So for this memory state, I can also write, if I know the next state, I'm considering Qn plus 1. So instead of this, I can also write it as a Qn, right? If 0, 1, then 0, 1. So Qn plus 1 equal to Qn. So that I am writing over here. Okay, for 0, 0 Qn. For 0, 1 also we are getting the memory state. For 1, 0. Okay. Okay, so with this, I will just draw the block diagram. Okay, S and R flip-flop block diagram. This is the clock, and this will be are the two outputs. Okay, now why this D flip-flop is required? See over here, there are two conditions. Here you can see this particular part. 0, 1 and 1, 0. See, if I know that if S input is 0, okay, and R input is 1, means this is the complement of this, right? Whatever the S input that we are providing, R is the complement of that. Okay, if S will be 1, then R will be 0, right? So the D flip-flop uses these two particular conditions. That is, means with using D flip-flop, we can provide only one input. Okay. So this is known as data flip-flop. Let's consider if I am providing only one input and if I will place the inverter over here and that output of that will be connected to R and this is a clock. Okay. With using this is anyway, this is the invalid condition, right? And we have to work on this particular, means we have to reduce the flip-flop. In terms of that, this data flip-flop it is used, where if I will provide only single input, automatically the another input will be considered. Okay, so here I'm providing this as a data input. If my D input is 0, in that case this will be 0 and this will be 1, right? Okay. And if this D will be 1, in that case, this will be 1 and this will be 0, right? Means D flip-flop works on these particular two conditions. So what is the truth table for D flip-flop that we can write? The truth table for D flip-flop, that is D flip-flop, and if we'll take the next state, if the D input is 1, sorry, if first we'll take 0, if D is 0, then what is Qn plus 1? You have to check. If D is 0, means S is 0, right? This is nothing but S and this is nothing but R. Means if S is 0 and R is 1, what is the output? 0. So this is 0. Okay, and if D is 1, if D is 1 means S is 1. Okay, if D is 1 means S is 1, in that case, what is the output that we'll get? That is 1. Okay. And when we'll get this output? Whenever the clock is present, that time, when the clock is 1. Okay. So this is the D flip-flop. Means by using single input, we'll get the output. Okay. That is the data. Okay. If the clock is 0, irrespective of this, I will get the memory state as it is like a SR flip-flop. So it is nothing but written as a Qn. Okay, so this is the D flip-flop truth table. It is very simple. Only one inverter it is placed. So that inverter automatically inverts the input, whatever we have provided with D. Okay, so see inside this is nothing but just a block diagram, but inside this circuit it is there. Okay, that we are assuming. So this will work accordingly. Now what is T flip-flop? T flip-flop will work for another two conditions. 0, 0 we have seen, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. Right? 0 and 1 0, 1 and 1. For this we have seen D flip-flop. Now if both the inputs are same, we can use T flip-flop. Okay, in the okay, so T flip-flop not uses the SR flip-flop, it uses the JK flip-flop circuit diagram. Why? Because you know that in the SR, this is the invalid state and that we have to use in a T flip-flop. So here I will draw the block diagram of JK flip-flop. If this J, K and this is the clock and Q bar. Okay. Now these two states we can use in the T flip-flop. Okay. So I can provide only single input. Okay. With the help of T. T means toggle. Okay. So with this, what I will do, I will take one T and the same data, that is nothing but same input that will be providing to another input. So this is nothing but J and this is nothing but K. Okay, and this is Q and Q bar. So if I will provide the value of T is 0, J will be 0 and K also will be 0. Right? So if T is 0, right, that time J also will be 0 and K also will be 0. So what is the output? That is Qn. Okay. And if T is 1, okay, in that case, J also will be 1 and K also will be 1 because same input is that we are passing to both the inputs, right? That is to J and K. So if T is 1, in that case, here just go through this truth table. Okay, so this is what, this is the, here we are getting in the JK flip-flop Qn bar. Okay, we have to follow the truth table of JK now. See over here. Because we are using the JK flip-flop, okay, for T flip-flop. Why? Because we want to use 0, 0 condition and 1, 1, where inputs are same. Okay, so for that, what we are getting, whatever the present state it is there, we are getting always the complementary output. Okay, so this is the toggling state that we have seen 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay, so here what I need to write Qn bar. Okay, so this is the truth table of T flip-flop. This is for clock equal to when it is 1 and if it is 0, whatever the value of T, it will be always Qn. Okay, so see, if you have understood J and K, you will understand T flip-flop. Just I have reduced from that only all these values. Okay, so only the concept of T flip-flop, it is nothing but a toggle flip-flop. Okay, where we are using, we need to just overcome the drawback of SR. That's what we have used JK, and because of this works on the toggle condition, we need to use the same input for T, and that's what we are using these two particular conditions in the toggle T flip-flop. Okay, so for 1 and 1, the output is always complementary output. Okay, so this is the memory state, right? Qn means what? This is the memory state. Okay, and this is the toggle state. Okay, this is the toggle state. Okay, so with this T and D, these are the last part of this lecture. Okay, so D is the data flip-flop and T is the toggle flip-flop. For D will require SR flip-flop and for T will require the JK flip-flop. Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll start with the next point in the, okay students, so is there any doubt till this point? Okay, so you just go through this part. This is very important, okay, to understand the next part, that is registers and counters. For registers and counters, you will be required the concept of flip-flop. So again and again, I'm saying you just go through this complete part that we have covered yesterday and today. Okay, and for the next lectures, I will provide the recording. Means not for next week. For Saturday, Sunday, you will be having again extra lectures. Okay, but instead of taking live lectures, now here for some part, I will provide you the recorded lectures for the next part because it is not possible to cover in the next two live lectures. Okay, so remaining part of the flip flop, that is nothing but the master slave flip flop. Okay, and one more part. So we'll provide you the recording on the Bodhi tree. You have to watch those videos on Saturday, Sunday strictly. Okay, so we'll start during next lecture for the next topic. Right? Are you comfortable with that? Okay. Maybe you know that already other subjects also have posted the lectures on the Bodhi tree, right? You know the time limitations and we have only 2 lectures. So it is not possible to cover all this completely there. And you have means like, though if these videos are available, it will be good for you in terms of preparation. Okay. For the final exam also you can refer those videos. Okay. So just give me your attendance now. If you are having any queries other than this, till that time you can ask. Okay, division 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 23.